into. We're gonna get into it in a minute. Yeah, yeah, guys, he's done it. He has done it. This cricket dude, I don't know what's wrong with him, and they just won't say nothing about it. Nobody won't say anything about it. They won't say anything about it. They are cowards. I mean, straight cowards. Straight cowards. Trying to get my computer up and running real quick. This is crazy. I'm almost there, guys. This computer running a little slow. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be starting in just a minute. I'm trying to get my computer up. It's tripping a little bit. Let me see if I can do this, and then we'll go from there.
Argentina bailout. Elizabeth Schulze has that story. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Rebecca. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. finalized this contract.
Trying to see why it's not. This is getting frustrating. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this is the thing. Trump. Sorry about the noise, guys. Trump has announced a $20 billion bailout for Argentina. They signed the papers. While we're dealing with a shutdown, people are losing their jobs. Like, excuse me, not just the federal workers, regular people. The farmers are having a devastating time. And then you send $20 billion to a corrupt politician in Argentina. This man is always dealing with dictators. You see how he act towards dictators? They're his friends. Sorry about that. Dictators are his friend. But when it comes to Europe or Germany, he talks crap about those people. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. But if you're corrupt and you didn't establish the coup to stay in power like some like Malay did, he used the military to stay in power. And Trump calls him, oh, that's one of my closest friends. This man is selling us out. He's selling us out. Nobody won't do anything about it. The, Trump knows he's a bad person. Trump actually knows he's a bad person. And this is what he said on a plane today, or was it yesterday? Listen to what he says. He knows he's a bad person.
Because it may help me get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help? I live cute. I don't think there's anything gonna get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make heaven. But
Yeah, he's not. He's already said he's not gonna make heaven. So he knows he's did so much corrupt things that if there is a possibility of going to heaven, or if there is a heaven, then he wouldn't make it. He already knows that. Yeah, I didn't fucked up so much shit. I didn't did so much stuff that yeah, I wouldn't be able to go. You're giving 20. I just can't get over it. $20 billion bailout to your dictator friends in Argentina, while the farmers, while the farmers here they can't sell their crop to anybody because the tariffs are so bad. It's almost like the farmers gotta pay other people to take the crop. That's what it's like. I gotta pay you to take it off my hands. It's just sitting in the fields or in storage, rotten. China is our top soybean buyer. They're not buying anything from us. So that means the soybean producers in the United States don't get paid this year. They're not going to get paid this year. They're going to lose their farms. Oh yeah, it's college football coming on tonight. I forgot who's playing, but there's two or three games. It started at 6. I'm going to be watching that one.
Good morning, Rebecca. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. finalized this controversial
Hello.
$20 billion financial lifeline for Argentina and also took the unusual step of directly buying Argentine pesos. This move is
Look,
designed to
did you
prop
hear
up.
what she said? We $20 billion bailout, and we're buying their money, their currency, to prop it up. We're propping up their currency. Oh, A&M. Yeah, I love A&M.
Argentina bailout. Elizabeth Schulze has that story. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Rebecca. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. finalized this controversial $20 billion financial lifeline for Argentina and also took the unusual step of directly buying Argentine pesos. This move is designed to prop up Argentina's struggling currency.
So we're gonna prop up Argentina's struggling currency while we have homelessness and people getting fired off their jobs. You know why he's doing it? Because that's his friend. He likes what he stands for. You know, see, Trump wants to be a dictator so bad. That's what he likes. He likes the people. He looks at people like that and say, you know what? I wish we didn't have elections in the United States either, and I can just stay president. That's what it's headed to. Don Jr. already announced he's going to run for president, so I guess they're trying to just keep it in the family, like a dictator would. You can ask a MAGA Republican or a MAGA Senator a straight question, just a straight question, and you know what they're going to always do. You know how this is how you tell that they have no idea what they're doing. They will spin. They won't answer the question about Trump. What they would do is turn around and say something about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not the president. Whatever you feel about him, you have a right to feel that way. But he is not the president that's employing tariffs on the people and have the military in the street. Joe Biden is not doing that. All they do is spin. Easy question. I don't like the way you asked, and then I'm gonna have to change it around and say something evil to you or about you. And this is the thing. I've been watching these Senate hearings, guys, and I'm gonna just tell you, I have never seen secretaries of defense or secretary of homeland security. I have never seen them talk to Congress the way they do. What did you think? Did Tom Homan take the $50,000? Senator, you are the corrupt one. You did this, you did that, and you did this. Sorry about that, guys. Well, if you know I did all of this, then you should know what's in the Epstein files if you know about me. You just got here and you know everything about me. And the files is like you said, they were sitting right on your desk. You said the files was on your desk. You don't know nothing about the files that's on your desk, but you know everything about me. Let you know a lot. Let you know a lot about these people. And then this is the hypocrisy with this. This is the hypocrisy. Jimmy Kimmel said something, I guess, about Charlie Kirk. They wanted him fired. They wanted him gone and never to return. But when they say stuff on TV that's reprehensible, like I think homeless people should be I can't say the M word, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. They saying homeless people, Fox News can get on their show and say they think homeless people should be lethal injected or just end. But they don't face repercussion for what they say. They still keep their job, but see that's the point. It's cool. In Texas, we got a thing. It's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when I do it. See, they can say anything they want, but you can't say anything you want. That's just disgraceful what you just said. You can't. Here you go right here.
What have you ever had?
Let me turn this down. I'm trying to get. Here we go.
Give you or you.
See, this is what it is about. They Trump signed an executive order, basically saying it's against the law to be homeless. It's against the law to be homeless. So what Fox News gets on there and say, well, if these people don't want to take the resources, they don't want to take this, they don't want to do this, they won't want to do that, just lock them up, put them in jail. And the other anchor says, no, let's just lethal inject them and M them. Yeah, I don't want to get flagged for saying certain words, so I just say M. Here we go.
In North Carolina and how to stop those kinds of crimes when he said this.
Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Did you? I know you heard that. That's Fox News. Brian Kilmeade saying K or M American citizens, homeless American citizens. And what's so bad about it, 2 or 3 days later, you can look this up. Some person rolled by in homeless encampment, and when I say they put rounds down range, it was people hit in the head. It was like 11 people shot, like 2 or 3 in the head. Over something that he said like this, but God forbids, Jimmy Kimmel disagrees with a person and he gets his show taken away. But you could actually call for violence on the homeless, and then there is violence and nothing happens to you. That is the double standard. That is definitely the double standard. I should keep my job. That wasn't so bad what I said. I can't believe these people are giving out money. Listen. Anybody asks ChatGPT or anything, or just Google it. How much money would it take to end homelessness in America? It's about $2 billion. Somewhere about 2 billion. We just gave 20 billion to Argentina. We've given Israel what, about 300 billion? If you take one of those armed shipments away from any country they gave, well, just take one shipment away from anybody, armed shipment, that would have cured homelessness in America. But we don't do that here. And I feel, this is what I feel like. The way they're doing stuff and the way they're firing people and the way they cutting health care, I think the elites, the billionaires feel this. This is exactly what I think how they feel. If you don't have enough money to live, maybe you shouldn't live. Like when Trump, when he was talking about the tariffs when he first became president, maybe they'll just have $2 instead of $50. He doesn't care about your children having anything because he has enough money to buy whatever he wants for his family. But you just have to, you don't need all of this stuff. You don't need it anyway. I'm the president. I get the right to tell you what you need or what you don't need. And that's what I'm saying about MAGA and men. They want to be alpha so bad. But you follow a dude. How can you call yourself a real man when you follow behind another man blindly? So Trump is the king and you're just his servants. But you say you are alpha. No, alphas run their own stuff. There's nobody over an alpha. He's over his own home and his own things. He doesn't bow down to anyone. That's my representation of an alpha. But if you want to call yourself an alpha and you run behind another man, I don't understand that logic. He tells you something and then you blindly follow it without doing any research or you having your own opinion. Oh, the president said it, so we just got to do it. How many cabinet members in the last time he was president, how many people got locked up or lost their bar license as a lawyer or been in prison because they did something wrong? And Trump had to pardon Roger Stone, Mulvaney. I mean, not Mulvaney, but the other dude. And, what was the name? I forgot it. It's almost like a Papadopoulos type number. And then people say, oh, the Russiagate stuff was fake. There's three people in Trump cabinet went to prison for Russiagate. So how is it fake when 3 people went to prison for it? One that was caught lying under oath about the Russia scandal. One was, I forgot his name. I'm gonna have to look it up. He the one that had the back channels to Russia. He ended up going to prison and Trump pardoned him. Roger Stone, I don't think he was in the Russia thing, but that's just another person Trump pardoned. He's always pardoned his friends. You call yourself law and order, but you pardon everybody who beat police on January 6th. You know why you do things like that? And you know why he does things like that? Because they were for him. They did it on his behalf. If you do something on his behalf or do something that he favors, you can pretty much do what you want in America. Because I mean, all he gonna pardon you. P. Diddy asked him for a pardon, and the only reason he said he didn't pardon P. Diddy because he said some bad things about me. We used to be friends in the 90s, but when I got into politics, he said something bad about me. So no, I'm not gonna pardon. But see, you see what I'm saying? He said some bad things about me. That's the only reason why you didn't do it. But if you say good things about him, yeah. You fucking stole the FIFA World Cup trophy. The guy brought it to the White House to show you, hey, Mr. President, this is the World Cup trophy. We have a lot of games in America this year for the World Cup. And he said, this is 24 karat solid gold. Trump said, let me hold it. He gave it to Trump, it was very heavy. And Trump, he held it and he said, can I keep it? And the man looked at him like, oh, shit. And he said, yeah, Mr. President, you can keep it, but only till there's another winner and we have to give it to the winner. So it's the FIFA World Cup soccer trophy is sitting in the Oval Office right now because Trump took it. He takes everything. And then you can't sit up there and say the man is not a cheater. He cheated on his first wife with his second wife, cheated on his second wife with his third wife, and cheated on his third wife with a porn star. And that's the man you want to run the country? That's a serial cheater. Okay, I'm gonna get you to I want you to build me this hotel. And as soon as it's built, I don't like the way the windows look. We're gonna have to renegotiate the contract. And then these people end up losing their business because they've been effed out of their money. He always does things like that. Listen, I'm gonna show you something. Your government is lying to you. Your government is definitely lying to you, and I'm gonna prove it. Oh, he awarded Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom today, a couple of hours ago. Oh, let me give you some before I can find that one. Let me tell you another reason why the Epstein files won't be released. The Epstein files, guys, won't be released unless they even though if they put that lady for the final vote in and they swear in, it's still they're gonna still hold back for the simple fact of this. Melania Trump, the first lady, is in the Epstein files, guys. That's not he say, she say. That's according to Jeffrey Epstein. And you know how you can get the words of a dead person? Because Michael Wolff is a journalist. Michael Wolff interviewed Jeffrey Epstein before he went to prison over 400 times. He has so many tapes. He's seen pictures with Trump, with younger girls, and they won't bring him. You know why they won't bring him into Congress and or subpoena him? Because they know he's telling the truth. But if he says Melania Trump is in the Epstein files, why haven't Trump or Melania sued him? You know why? Because they would have to take it to discovery and things would come out. That's why Melania won't even attempt to say, Michael Wolff is lying on me. I did not mess with Jeffrey Epstein before Trump. You sued CBS, you sued ABC for defaming you. So why ain't you going after this dude for defaming you? Because you know you would have to go to discovery. And everybody knows that Melania messed with Epstein before. She was a model for Epstein.
Pathetic life of Prince Andrew, but it is also about his connection to Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Melania Trump. In fact, it contains a passage in which Epstein is quoted. This is from an interview apparently in 2007, where he says that he had sex with Melania a full year before Donald Trump.
Did you hear that? Epstein wrote in a passage that he had sex with Melania Trump, the first lady, a full year before Donald Trump. I'm not making that up. That's what Epstein told him. Epstein told him that. I'm not just saying that. Michael Wolff interviewed Epstein. Epstein told him that he messed with Melania Trump, the first lady, a year before Trump even had her. Because that is a true fact, because Melania Trump came to the United States to work for Jeffrey Epstein under his modeling agency. And that's a fact. So if you ever seen that that video when Jeffrey Epstein was standing there with this big check and it says something about $22,500 for a woman, like he was selling her, she was standing there smiling. They was on the golf course, and he was selling her to Jeffrey Epstein for $22,500. It was like a joke type thing, but I don't think that's a joke. I think they were passing off women to each other. I think they were sharing women. Him and Epstein. Epstein said him and Trump shared a woman. They shared Melania for sure.
And his relationship with Melania. The hardcover copy of the book was widely available yesterday, and it contains that.
See, and that's what I'm saying. They're trying to even mess with the passage of the book.
And it's about the pathetic life of Prince Andrew, but it is also about his connection to Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Melania Trump. In fact, it contains a passage in which Epstein is quoted. This is from an interview apparently in 2007, where he says that
this is nasty. If this is true, that means, if this is true what Michael Wolff is saying, that means Epstein and Trump shared Melania. And like I said, I do know it's public record that when Melania came to the United States, she worked for Jeffrey Epstein under his modeling agency. She worked for Jeffrey when she was like 19. Yeah, she did. So now we got all of this. We got all of this. And now they're talking about they're just going to come to the Super Bowl.
President of the United States. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first read the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows.
See, this and why wouldn't the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, tell the public that Donald Trump was an FBI informant? You know how being an informant works, right? For those who don't know, being an informant of any kind means you yourself has been caught up in something, and they're gonna make you flip to go get the bigger guy. We can charge you with something, but we'd rather work with you, and we'll go after the big fish together. I need you to go over here and buy something and bring it back from this house. That's how it usually works. Nobody just walks up to the government and say, "Hey, I want to be an informant." That doesn't happen. They either got something on you and make you flip. So why did Mike Johnson say Donald Trump was an FBI informant? According to Michael Wolff, Epstein told Michael Wolff why. He said that Epstein was going to buy a house in Palm Beach, Florida. And he brought Trump over there to look at the place because he wanted the pool moved, right? And Trump was, since he does construction, he was told him whatever he told him. But when it was time to bid on the house, Trump went over Epstein and outbid him on the house that Epstein was going to bid on. That's what they fell out about. It wasn't, I found out he was a perv and I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. You've been knowing he was a perv. You've been knowing he was a perv for the longest. Didn't he go to your first and your second wedding? Yeah, Epstein was at your first and your second wedding. So why you act like you don't know the guy? Yeah, so he went over Epstein's head for that property. That's why they fell out. And Jeffrey Epstein, I'm gonna give you some insight on him too, guys. I think Trump know how powerful Epstein was. And I think he was a little scared. So he went to the FBI and told them, hey man, this dude is doing a whole bunch of S stuff with these little ones and well, you're gonna have to do something about him. So it's even a proven fact that Trump went to the FBI and told on Jeffrey Epstein. But for Mike Johnson to say he was an FBI informant, yeah, you can say that. See, Trump don't want his base to know that Trump was working with the FBI with on the Epstein file, on the Epstein case.
President of these United States. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
He was an FBI informant trying to take this stuff down. Trump is a sick man. I think he liked Caroline Levitt too. For the second day in a row, I love the way she looks and those machine gun lips. I'm like, man, you need to stop talking about people's lips like that. Why can't you be everything is sexual towards you. You make everything sexual. I'm trying to find this clip. I'm just trying to get it out to everybody. This dude is not what you think he is. Can I ask anybody a question?
Issue with it then. If they issue.
If somebody asks you a question about your daughter, or if it was a guy, one of your friends, and he said something like, hey man, your daughter's really a nice, and you be like, man, you know what? Don't talk about my daughter like that. This man is a nasty dude. He's a nasty person. He is definitely not something. People used to aspire to be a president. They're like, oh, yeah, I want to be just like him. I want to be like the president. Nobody wants to be like the point. Nobody wants to be like the president. Being like the president is over with. Yeah, this dude is sick. He was talking about Caroline Levitt lips again, talking about she has some machine gun lips. Why has everything got to be sexual with Donald Trump? And then you nasty as hell talking about you date your own daughter. I mean, somebody need to do something about that. You don't think somebody need to take Grandpa Keys away? You don't think somebody need to take Grandpa Keys away? Listen.
Issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that...
Listen, that's creepy in itself already. Because Ivanka was going to pose for Playboy at one time, and he said, I don't think she's going to be doing that inside the magazine, even though she has a pretty nice body or figure the way... Why is you even looking at your daughter like that?
Have an issue with it then? If they were using her to.
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
They said, stop it. That is nasty. Everybody's laughing, but that is not funny. That's the kind of joke that you tell. I don't understand. I guess I'm a real father. I can't joke about my daughter like that. And then when he was on Howard Stern, I mean, he really. He really went hard. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I got it. Let me see if I can get it off commercial.
It's true. Lundberg does save baby ducks.
Let me get it off commercial, guys, and we'll get back to it. Here we go.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter,
she's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I go out with somebody, and she's like 21, and she's talking about, what are you doing? And she's studying algebra.
So what?
And it's like, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30 is like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience. She's 35. Too much life experience.
What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the
I would
country.
say I'm the all-time judge.
You own this pageant, you go over, you look, you're meeting the girls and stuff. One of them comes up to you and says, Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you. Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything,
Well,
right?
could that be construed, however, as
Conflict?
yes?
I don't see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later
The
on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And,
What you could also say is the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting, I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there.
That dude is a pervert. You going in the dressing room because you the owner of the pageant and you allowed to go in the dressing room because you inspecting it. You walk in talking about, is everybody okay? You are a pervert. He is a pervert. So why would he do the Epstein thing? If he's a pervert to that extent, why would he go further than that?
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting, I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
I started to get away with things like that. Going in there looking at women in the dressing rooms, I started to get away with it.
Because the other person speaking out.
Yeah, it's just this man is not who we think he is. I don't even know what to call him. All I know is he's a horrible person. And if you don't like the freedom of speech,
Hey, what's up, YouTube family?
you don't like other freedom of speech, other people's freedom of speech,
24
but
hours
you
after.
think you got the right to say whatever you want to say, or you got a right to say what you want to say. How is that not a dictatorship if you're a president? The president gets the right to say what he wants to say because he's a president, but the citizens don't. That's definitely dictator type shit. That's authoritarian. That is most. If you turn the police departments and the military against the citizens, that is authoritarian. They do that in Russia and North Korea and stuff like that. They don't do it here. Well, we do it now, but before this, we've never done it.
Get cozy now that the weather's.
This man he wants to take. He actually thinks he's the president or the king of the world. That's why he treat our allies like shit, but treat dictators like friends. That is his MO. Treat our allies like shit and treat dictators like friends because he's a wannabe dictator. He likes those people because that's the crowd that he wants to be in. I don't think Trump doesn't have the ability to understand like regular human life or regular human experiences. Because I don't think Trump ever had to go to a grocery store in his life. Like he said, groceries, it's like, he was going to say it's like a new word that he made up. He almost thought he made up the word groceries. And you know, this is another thing. How the hell this is not corrupt? Trump and I think China, like the United States, is going to be over TikTok, but you still got a few players like China still going to be there, and I think Israel's going to be there too, as far as owners of TikTok. Donald Trump said, you young people owe Barron Trump because if it wasn't for him telling his dad about TikTok, it'd have been gone, so you owe him something. And now it's been reported that Barron Trump is going to be like a board member on TikTok. How does the president's son becomes a board member on TikTok after you say you better thank him? These people are corrupt. And then if you love football, when have you seen military or ICE agents at the Super Bowl? This Super Bowl, they're saying they're going to be all over that place. It's not, people are not going to have a good time. They don't want you to have a good time.
We'll be all over that place. And I can't. We're going to enforce the law. So I think people should not be coming to the Super Bowl unless they're law-abiding Americans who love this country. We'll be all over that place.
They're going to be all over that place. Antagonizing American citizens. They need to, somebody need to invoke the 21st Amendment, 25th Amendment or something. Shit, let's get him out of office. Now, I don't want nothing bad to happen to the guy. I'm not with that. I don't want no harm to come to him like that. But I think he should be voted out of office. Do I think Joe Biden was the perfect president? No. I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect president. I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect president. And you know how, let me look for something. That's got to be a fact because there is no such thing as a perfect human being. If a human being can't be perfect, nothing a human does can be perfect. But we have a president that says everything he does is perfect. It was the most perfect this, it was the most perfect this, it was the biggest this, it was the most thing that you ever seen in the world, it was the biggest big league. It's, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But like I said, the first lady, she did mess with Jeffrey Epstein. That's why they don't want to release the Epstein files. Listen, this is how I know. This is how I know exactly what's going on. Do I work for the government? No. But it's easy to see if you follow stuff like this. Now, about a month ago, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, did an interview with this guy. And he said, well, according to Michael Wolff, Melania messed with Epstein too. Why ain't they talking about that? So Melania sent a letter to Hunter Biden's lawyer. Says he must cease and desist to talk about these things because it's a lie and it's defamatory. Hunter Biden say, how can you come after me when I'm just repeating what another guy says? Why don't you go after the one who's putting it on the news? Doing interviews and putting it on the news. They don't want to do that because then you would have to have a thing called discovery. There will be depositions. It would be questions asked, when did you meet Epstein? And she would have to answer that under oath. Trump would have to answer these questions under oath. But according to Jeffrey Epstein, he had Melania first.
And it's about the pathetic life of Prince Andrew, but it is also about his connection to Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Melania Trump. In fact, it contains a passage in which Epstein is quoted. This is from an interview apparently in 2007, where he says that he had sex with Melania a full year before Donald Trump commenced his relationship with Melania. The hardcover copy of the book.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be about it because I'm gonna watch some football.